and parts unknown. An Asshole's Shitty Podcast with Paul Mauled. Recorded November 25th, 2017 with Jordan Morrissey.
I am here with Morrissey. Mr. Jordan Morrissey.
I saw this great picture the other day. Someone took like some ridiculous picture of Morrissey and like he's like this, and it said, "This is a Morrissey-free workplace." It's like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's just always fucking running his mouth saying the stupidest bullshit. It's like, the guy is a talented guy, but he's like his own worst enemy. Like, I want to like him, but he makes it so hard to like him.
Yeah, I still celebrate like his old stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I like
he's
the Smiths.
Talented dude.
I really think Johnny Marr was like
he's fucking
the more talented.
For sure,
the guy, the talent in the band, but
his fucking guitar playing is. I was just listening to what was it? Nothing But Flowers by the Talking Heads, and he was on there playing guitar, and I was like, wow. I was like, he's a great guitar player.
he did a really good album with the Cribs.
Oh really?
Yeah, did you ever hear the Cribs?
Yeah, I know who they are.
Yeah, he did like a really good album and then a couple of singles. I think it was called Ignore the Ignorant.
Okay.
It was solid.
I have one of his solo albums in my house. A friend of mine made it for me. I still haven't listened to it. I gotta check that out. I gotta remember. I got so much shit later. People give me so much shit.
Well, I don't want to just skip past your intro. Mr. Jordan Morrissey, if you don't know who he is, maybe you've heard of his bands. Mythology, Bomb, or Subloco.
Yeah.
I've caught, I think, all three of them around the Jersey area, mostly at Clash Bar.
Yeah. Play there a lot. It's my favorite place to play.
It's the best
sure.
place, I think.
I agree. I have so much fun there.
They take good care of the bands too, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a solid room. The crowd's always nice. Nobody's ever a fucking asshole.
Yeah, and you got great
Except
people.
the sound guy.
Yeah. Great people working there, so that always helps out. For sure. But it's an important spot too, man, because there's not a lot of places like that left.
No, there's not. And they keep closing down. Like,
yeah,
there used
man.
to be, back when I started, I think we'd play like Loop Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's there anymore. I think it's coming back.
Yeah, I think it's coming back, right? They had issues
That's
with
the
their
rumor.
roof.
I heard that it'll be back.
I had fun there.
What the fuck was the place? It was on Patterson Plank Road. I don't know. It was at Carlstadt.
Okay.
It was like a
I
little
know what you're
club.
talking about. Shit. Fuck, that's gonna bother me.
Used to play the Blue Room. That's gone under.
Oh god, that
10
place.
Yeah, 10 new managers. You know.
I didn't even think that place was still up and running.
It'll never die.
I guess
They'll
not.
always find somebody else to get in there. And I never hated the room. I just hated the location.
It's just so weird there. Yeah.
I heard my buddy works over there, so I don't want to knock it, but they got like a metal crowd going in there now, so it's like that works.
I haven't been in there since like, I want to say like 2010, 2011, like a long time ago.
When did you start playing in bands?
I started playing in bands, in front of people, probably I started playing like music in bands in front of people in my church. So like technically,
You're a kid.
Yeah. So like I'm talking like 15 years old.
What did you start?
I mean, the first instrument I tried to play was a trumpet. Fucked that up, and then I was always playing pots and pans. Like there's all pictures of my family having me with all these like Beatle LPs and all these pots and pans, and I was hitting them. So like I always knew I'd probably be a drummer. But like when I was like 15, 16, I started a band with kids in my church, and was playing in front of easily like 100, 150 people every Sunday.
That's awesome.
So I really learned a lot doing that. But like my first like secular band was which was And the Zombie, which I'm gonna get their records.
Oh, and I didn't plug in the Zombie.
They don't
in your
exist
intro.
anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore.
But we had a lot of fun. We started probably 2006. So I was in my 20s when like the early 20s when I started doing like playing around New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
What were like your like secular influences?
Oh man, We could talk fucking for hours about this. I mean, my favorite band of all time is the Beatles.
Like
so
when you first started, like when you were a kid. When
I was a kid.
When you were 15, what were you listening to?
So I grew up on like my parents' music. They were hippies. They went to Woodstock. They got really great music taste. So they were showing me stuff. Like I'm a Beatlemaniac because of them. But like I got turned on to all the '60s stuff. You know, early '50s, Frank Sinatra, all the good pop rock from the '60s, The Doors. Like Steely Dan, Billy Joel, all that stuff. So a lot of classic rock stuff. So that's what my diet was pretty much that until I got into high school. Because I went to a private Christian school from like K to 8th grade.
Okay.
Like my graduating class was 9 people.
Shit.
So like, yeah, I spent like the entirety of up until 8th grade with the same 14 people. It fucking sucked. And because I was the odd kid out, I liked music, monster movies, you know, I didn't like sports. All the dudes in my class were into fucking sports. So like, I just hung out with the chicks all the time, which is cool. But I was like, okay, so when I got into high school, I was like, holy shit, there are people that are like me, you know? So I actually had a really good time in high school because I went from like a school that was like 100 people to like, you know, West Milford High School. I grew up in West Milford. So it's like a regular high school with hundreds and hundreds of kids.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, that's where I found punk rock.
Nice.
So like, I got into punk rock around in high school. It's like Operation Ivy changed my life, you know, big time. Rancid, you know, Anti-Flag, all those bands that were coming. I was really into the ska scene too. There's actually a really good Christian ska scene. Bands like the Insiders, Five Iron Frenzy.
Nice.
All those guys. So like I was coming up, like I was right before that time I was getting to punk ska. But like MXPX was another big band for me.
Yeah, I remember that.
So like that's how I got my foot in the door with the punk rock stuff. And then I started going back in time, being like, oh, the Smiths, the Ramones, you know, the Sex Pistols. So I kind of like was really into punk rock and I loved playing it. So like that's kind of like the stuff I was like in my formative years, like when we started And the Zombie. And then, you know, I started getting to, like, a lot of as we started on the Zombies, probably, like, 2006, 2007, I started getting to a lot of, like, some of the indie rock that was coming out, bands like Dr. Dog, a guy named M. Ward. Have you ever heard of him?
I heard of M. Ward,
He's one of my favorites, man. He's a huge, like, he was in that band with Zooey Deschanel called She and Him.
Yes.
Yeah, so he has his own solo stuff, 7 albums plus fucking gold. The guy is just amazing. One of the best acoustic guitar players you ever hear.
Cool.
So that's like a lot of the stuff that really got me going. That's where like revolving in my head. The Beatles always be like my people. If I'm doing something, it's because of them.
Nice. So you did End of Zombie, and then where did you go from there?
End of Zombie lasted probably from about 2006 to probably 2010.
Okay.
And it was around 2010 that I started Subloco with my friend Birdie. Actually, we were in a band together with which is her boyfriend at the time, and my bass player in End of Zombie. They did a project that they asked me to come in. So we did that for a little bit, and then we started Subloco. It was just me and her originally around 2010. And I was friends with the guys in Mythology all through doing stuff with End of Zombie. You know, we're all friends. We grew up in the same town.
Yeah.
We played gigs together.
Those guys were in other bands.
Yeah, well, they had Mythology was a band before I joined them.
Oh, okay.
They came up actually around the same time as End of Zombie. So we shared the stage together all the time. And that's how I met Tommy, too, who's in Babam with me.
Yeah.
He was great friends. I met them through his original band with my guitarist from End of Zombie. It's a hardcore band. So we did shows all together. We were all hanging out together, and like Tommy would come up and play with End of Zombie all the time because we had to fill like 3.5 hour sets. When we were first starting, we had no material, so like we had to fill up all this time. So we would come up and just play covers. And that's really the seeds for Babam. Really started with End of Zombie.
Nice.
So we all kind of ran with the same crowds, and so they were doing Mythology for a while, and I ended up joining Mythology. Probably, I'm trying to think what year that was. It's probably like 2012, maybe 2013. Okay. Yeah, 2012. I want to say their original drummer ended up leaving because he was moving away. So they asked me to join them. So
nice. And then December 23rd, we're gonna play at the
we
Clash
are.
Bar.
I'm gonna rock it out.
It's the whole point of really getting this podcast started was to.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Only promote that gig, and then afterwards, no more podcasts. I'm retiring from it. No, hopefully there will be like another gig that
Oh,
there
for
will
sure,
be to
yeah.
promote and get other people to come in and have conversations.
I love podcasts, man. It's all when I'm at home. That's all I'm listening to, and I really want to start my own. So it's like I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah. But you're basically my first guest. I've done other podcasts that like they came out for a little while, but it's like the sound was wonky or this or that. Or we just had too many fucking people in the room.
Yeah.
I like one-on-one and just chilling out, swapping stories.
Yeah.
What's the most famous band you've ever opened for?
Well, that would probably be. I guess it's a tie between. Well, it's kind of okay. So if I had to say truly open for, it would probably be a tie between Yes and Peter Frampton.
You guys opened for Yes?
Yeah, kind of. Okay, so it's like we played in a different room than them, but we played. They asked us to open their show. Like so, like we didn't meet them or anything, but we played. They promoted our set.
Was that like a Yes and Peter Frampton on the
No,
same...
it was two different shows.
Oh, so this is the Yes one. So you played what in like a foyer, and then everybody went into the...
basically.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but it was cool. They gave us a...
Which band was that?
That was with Mythology, both of them actually.
Awesome.
It was at the Mayo Pack in Morristown.
Okay.
And it was really cool. They were doing this series where they were allowing bands to do that. And especially Yes, they were super awesome to us. Like they promoted our set on their social media. Like we were on top of their Twitter feed for like 24 hours.
Oh, that's
like it was
awesome.
crazy. It was really nice of them. Like they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, that's totally
So
cool.
it was cool. And like the guys in my band are huge Yes heads, like in Mythology, because it's a prog rock band.
Yeah.
They were going bananas. So like it was a really cool moment for them. And then we got to watch the show for free, which was awesome. So it was cool. The same thing with Peter Frampton. You know, he was doing an acoustic tour.
Yeah.
So we got to do the same thing with them.
Cool.
And Subloco played in NAMM. You know what NAMM is, right?
Yeah. I was going to
played-
ask you about, because you're always, I see on your social media,
Yeah,
you're always doing shit.
Yeah, I'm a pretty busy guy. I mean, we played NAMM. I guess this was the beginning of 2016, January 2016. And which was an amazing experience. But the day we played, we got to share like the stage like a few hours after us. Like who was on that bill? Somebody crazy. Oh, Graham Nash.
Oh, nice.
So I got to play on the same stage as Graham Nash. I was dying. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And Dr. John played the next day, which was really cool too.
Sick.
But like it was really cool. So those are probably my big high profile gigs, whatever.
Nice. Yeah, I see it. You're always doing trade shows and shit.
Well, I know people, they're really into that.
Yeah.
You know, Tommy and I, we've done a lot of work with a guy named Gil Griffith who does some work in selling gear. Wave Distro for the plug.
Okay.
But so he kind of got me into that world. So I kind of float in and out of there. It's
So you're
good.
messing with decimators and stuff
Yeah,
like
you
that?
know, they have all kinds of distressors.
Distressors, that's
Yeah.
what it is, yeah.
So yeah, I kind of float in and out of that world through contacts with him. But some good people to know for sure if you're trying to be a
Hell
musician.
yeah, that's awesome. I'm always envious when I see anybody like leaves their house.
It's good. The older I get though, the less I want to do it. It's just like,
Yeah, that's why I only play 4 times a year.
yeah, it's a lot of work, man. It's like that's the thing. It's like I've been doing this for like pretty steady since like I said with Dan the Zombie 2007. Like, so it's like, and then there was a point where like I had 3 bands like at once, and it's just like it's a lot of fucking work. Plus,
And
my
you
job.
don't just play drums, right? You play everything?
No, I mean, I can diddle on bass. I barely know anything. I fool around on piano. I don't really know what I'm doing.
You sing like a songbird.
Yeah.
Behind the drums, that's not easy.
Yeah, I've been doing that. That's all because of the Zombie, man. They forced me into that. Like, cause like I grew up, like I was saying, when I went to school in my private school, I did a lot of choral singing, which is one of the good things that school did. They did a musical every year where the whole school would sing it. So from kindergarten on, I was learning how to do harmony and singing with the group.
That's awesome.
And stuff like that. So I did that for 8 years. Plus they did a separate choral group for people who were really into it that would do a whole separate show around Christmas a couple times a year. So I joined that and did some acting with that stuff too. So I've been singing for almost, maybe even longer than I've been playing drum kit, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing singing and drums. Like when we started in the Zombie, it was just 3 guys, and like they're just like, well, neither of us can sing, and you can, so you either sing or we don't have a band. I was like, okay, and so that's kind of how it started.
And that's how you got your singer hat.
Yeah, and it's something I really enjoy. There's something about singing that's different than I think anything else. I really enjoy doing it. That's one thing I would love to do now. It's one thing I've never done is just be a singer in a band.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. You never got to front a band before?
No, not fronting a band. I've done like a couple songs and like just out front. And at first, it like
you don't know what to do with your hands.
Yeah, it was like at first I felt naked. Now I have actually a lot more fun with it. It's something I would like to do. Do like Iggy Pop or something.
Yeah, you should.
I'm a skinny guy, so.
Yeah. That's the fucking. There's something about that. Like when you first start fronting a band, like your hands,
sure you learn
like you
a
don't
lot.
know where the fuck what to do with them. Like you don't want to keep them like a T-Rex.
Yeah, or you don't want to go.
You don't want to put your
It's
hand
like-
in your pocket. That's like the big one. Like don't be playing pocket pool. I tend to throw one behind my back,
Okay.
or I push on my stomach, so I'm like helping my diaphragm
Okay, that works.
stay, hit those high notes.
Yeah.
That way it at least serves a purpose. Everybody thinks I have a stomach ache, but
Whatever works, man. It's like everybody has their thing. I really, I look at people who do that, like just saying, like I got to see U2 a couple of times this year.
you're a big U2 guy.
Oh, yeah,
that's,
big time.
That's one of my least favorite bands.
I know a lot of people
ever.
hate them. I love them. I'll always.
You
love
were
them.
happy when that album just appeared on
Sure,
your
I thought it was
iPhone.
cool. I think here's the thing about that. I think that if any other band tried that, nobody would have.
If Green
given a
Day
shit.
did it, I think everyone would have been
loved
happy.
it.
Yeah,
Everybody
You're
would have
right.
loved it. Just because people, and it's funny when I talk about U2 to people, when I ask them what they don't like, they don't know what to say. They're like, "Why don't you like them?" "Oh, I just don't like them." Or it's just like, "Oh, I don't like Bono."
I like some of their songs. They're not. I don't hate them.
Yeah,
but
that's
they're
what
a
I mean.
band that I definitely got tired of hearing.
Sure, I can understand that for sure.
And I think that's a lot of it is like everybody heard Vertigo 8 million times.
Okay, all right.
Because like I give props to you two for. I really like the song on the Batman Forever soundtrack. Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me.
That's one of my
That's
favorites.
the song that got me into you two.
That's awesome.
when I first heard that.
That's a special song. Yeah, they're a band that like I think it's easy for people who want to hate them to find things to hate.
Yeah.
But I think that they have such an interesting catalog that you could probably find something that you like.
Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Yeah, like fucking
that's like a sick song.
Or like anything from the Joshua Tree. Like you can't tell me those are not well written songs. It's like, of course, Bono's he's an outspoken guy. People don't like people who talk and do things. So it's like, I could see how people could find him annoying, but it's like I just like them. So
Yeah, everybody's got some kind of preference. And it's usually fucked up.
yeah, but he's an incredible singer, and like watching him, like
He's a showman too.
he's
man,
crazy,
yeah.
and he's gotten better with age too. Like I said, like his voice.
Yeah.
Like, and he even admits that. He's like, yeah, it's like, like I said, I got to see them twice on this tour, for the Joshua Tree, and like he just fucking.
Oh, they
goes
played the
out.
Joshua Tree? That's
It was
cool.
awesome. They played the whole album in full, and then they played a few hits at the beginning, a few hits at the end, some new stuff, which is really cool. But just seeing him just doing his thing, like it was really awe-inspiring to watch.
When was that?
That was in July. I saw them first in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium with my best friend. He lives in Tampa, so we got to see them there. And then I saw them a couple weeks later at Giant Stadium, whatever it's called.
Nice.
And I'm actually going to see them this coming year too, in July, or I think June.
What's your favorite concert that you ever went to?
Ooh, wow, Jesus.
Or what was your first concert? That's
my
always a good
first
question.
concert? Okay, well, technically,
Like big concert, like at like a stadium or something.
Okay.
I don't mean like a local.
yeah. So like a big, I guess it would have been. I gotta think about this now. I used to go to a Christian music festival called Creation, which is basically like Christian Woodstock. So that I went to that a bunch of years. So that would technically be my first big show. But
Yeah.
like my first show in a major.
that you want, like, what was a band that you wanted to go see?
Yeah.
Like,
Some of them were, but I would say like 2003, System of a Down.
okay.
Down and Meshuggah.
Nice.
And
That's
some
heavy.
band called Pulse Ultra. at Jones Beach.
Nice.
So that was probably my first big stadium, secular evil rock show.
Yeah. Yeah, when you went off to the dark side.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. So that probably would have been it, yeah.
So are you still like non-secular at all? Do you go to
No, well, I
church
mean,
anymore,
I hate, I hate to use this term because it's so loaded and comes with so much baggage. I mean, if I describe myself now, spiritual would be a shitty word.
Yeah, that's what I used
that.
too. Me too.
I hate it, but it works. Like I definitely went through a period like when I probably in my mid-20s when I kind of walked away from, like, I was brought up in a really strict like fundamentalist Christian household. And I did that till I was probably like 25, and then I kind of started doing different stuff. And then I kind of got really into psychedelics and doing stuff like that. And so it's like now I think there's a spiritual aspect to my life for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put a name to it, but it's like I just try to, like, it's like, one thing I will say is that the further away I got from mainstream Christianity, the more respect I had for Jesus.
Okay.
And like, because I think they're so interested in everything else but that. They talk all about him, but if you pay attention to what he said, he just said, hey, be good to each other.
Yeah.
Basically. If you look at the words that he said and what he told people to do. So it's like, it's weird. I find like, I found interesting stuff I could pull from that. I definitely learned stuff from that. I had a really bunch of crazy experiences with that. And so it was definitely a part of my life that will always kind of be there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call myself like a religious person in any sense.
I try to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And I try to do like good things in the world. Like, I think that's really like just be nice to the people around you. Like,
yeah.
Don't be a cunt.
Right, exactly. That's basically what Jesus said.
Yeah.
It's like,
Jesus was just saying, don't be a cunt.
Yeah, so it's like, but like I said, it's like for a while, like when I first got out, I was like, I don't want to say militantly atheist, but it's definitely, when you go from, and also like everybody in my family, all my friends,
Were you like ostracized or not ostracized, but given the business?
I mean, no, man, for sure. Like my family is really good with it, but like, a lot of my friends, all the people in my church, like not all of them, but like there's definitely people who look at me much differently now.
Yeah.
And like even before I even got out, like I started, growing up, like just drinking a little beer, and like doing stuff when I was still in the church. I was over 21 at that point. It wasn't even illegal, but like they
didn't want you to like drink at all or anything.
Like they were just a bunch of people who were really interested in paying attention to what other people do instead of what they were doing.
Yeah.
So like they would go and tell my leaders and be like, oh, look what he's doing and stuff like that, and like. So it was kind of like that, but like, so when I finally got out, I was definitely pretty militantly atheistic for a while. Sam Harris really changed my life with that. Do you know who he is?
Isn't that he makes dance music?
No,
Okay.
He's a neuroscientist actually and a philosopher. He's one of the. You're thinking of Calvin Harris.
Calvin Harris, all right.
But
I was interested to hear how Calvin Harris changed your.
That would be a story.
Sam Harris.
Yeah, he was labeled one of the four horsemen. Basically, he's called one of the big. There was they're called the four horsemen. They were called that. They didn't really. Christopher Hitchens. You ever heard of him?
Yeah. Okay.
So it was Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins and Dan Dennett.
Okay.
And they were called the Four Horsemen. They were called the New Atheists. They came out in the early kind of thousands. And wrote all these big books.
Yeah, I remember Richard Dawkins, his shit specifically.
Sam Harris is my favorite just because he's really into spiritual stuff too. Like he doesn't even like the term atheist. He doesn't want to use it because he calls it a term devoid of meaning. It's like you can't. There's nothing. Like, no one walks around being like, "Hey, I'm a non-astrologer."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. So he's really into how the mind works, the brain, because he's a neuroscientist, but he's really into philosophy.
Yeah.
He's into Buddhist meditation, and he got into psychedelics. So he kind of he had a really interesting kind of life, and so like he wasn't like Dawkins. I respect the guy as a scientist, but he's a real hard head in terms of how he goes about talking about stuff. And Harris isn't he doesn't pull any punches, but like Dawkins has a real abrasive way of speaking. Harris is like all about dialogue. He has a really great podcast actually called Waking Up.
Yeah, I gotta check
which
that
you
out.
should check out.
Yeah.
But he's all about having really difficult conversations. He wants to foster communication with people. He wrote this really great book. It's a really small one with a guy called Majid Nawaz, and it's called Islam and the Future of Tolerance. And it's all about just fostering dialogue between an atheist and a Muslim. He's all about, his podcast. He has like basically a lot of people who don't share his opinions that he has on to just talk about stuff.
A good discussion.
Yeah, so he's really interested in doing. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But like he was a real big guy for me, coming out of it. But so yeah, for a bit I was like pretty militant in my anti-religiosity, if you will.
Yeah.
Just because it was a different worldview, because, you had a bunch of people telling you things that you end up, because I didn't believe in evolution, I didn't believe in any of that stuff, So it's like coming out and seeing how it's like, okay, this is kind of the way it is. So you kind of go through this weird mental process. But he helped me get through that a lot. And, getting into psychedelics, you kind of have to look at the world a little bit differently in terms of like, there's certain things that happen when you enter those spaces that you can't explain. So when you go from kind of growing up in religion, coming out of it, and then jumping into something like that, you start to rethink.
It's like you grew up in a box and popped out of the box and jumped into lava.
Yeah, in a way, sure. That's a good analogy.
What was your favorite, or what was your first psychedelic? I'm curious.
Technically, I guess technically my first trip wasn't a psychedelic. It was a dissociative, if you want to be technical. DXM.
Okay. Cough syrup?
Yeah.
Nice. The walls start rippling and shit.
Yeah. It's definitely that was my first, I smoked pot and stuff before that, but that was my first.
That's when you tripped fucking balls.
Yeah, it was kind of like, whoa, this is a thing. And then I would say my first, psychedelic was psilocybin. Yeah.
Shrooms.
Yeah. And then I
you
got
ever
into
do LSD?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I got into that a little bit later.
Acid, is that the same thing
Yeah,
as LSD, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not a big psychedelic guy. I've done
No, they're not
I've done
for everybody,
shrooms
man.
before and I
Yeah.
liked it. I was sitting outside and I felt like I could hear the grass whispering
Yeah,
at me.
yeah.
Everything felt really nice.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know, like I'm a dark guy. Like I don't. Sometimes that
No, I
makes me
get that.
anxious. Like I'm in a bad headspace. Not a bad headspace, but a less than friendly headspace a lot of time. I don't think it's the
No,
best
yeah,
time
they
to be on
definitely should be
acid.
approached with caution, and
Yeah.
they're not for everybody. And it's like you said, it's all about setting and all those wonderful things. But and DMT was a really big one for me.
DMT.
I got a tattoo of it on my arm.
Yeah.
But,
I did that once by accident.
really?
It was like resin from it in
Oh,
my
wow, okay.
brother's bowl, and I
Yeah.
didn't think about it. I just picked it up and packed it.
Oh, fascinating.
And I was like whoa.
Yeah,
like,
that's the one thing. Like I said, if
whoa.
I had to pinpoint a moment where like I kind of like that was kind of like the moment where I kind of was like I came, like I said, from this militant like anti-religious kind of thing to like that when you smoke DMT, it just you're not the same person afterwards. And
yeah,
it's
like a fucking
Yeah.
retrospective or
Yeah, which is-
introspective. Like
yeah, it's out of body totally, and like that's the thing. It's like that's what really broke my brain. It's just like wow, it's like so it kind of made me rethink.
my
everything.
brother was freaking out because the amount that I smoked wasn't like any kind of dose of it. It was just like a little bit. He's like, I don't
Yeah.
know what that's gonna do to you. Like, I've only done this amount. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I mean in terms of biologically, we're totally safe, but.
yeah, no. It's one of those like, oh shit, what did I just do?
Yeah, if you're not
things,
ready,
and then,
I can't believe that happened to you because, like, yeah, it's something like before I did
it's
it,
like
I
a
researched
weird
it for years.
plastic taste. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck
totally
is this?
plastic.
Like,
Like burning plastic.
yeah,
Oh,
like what
yeah.
did I just do?
Burning plastic. Ew, it tastes horrible. But
It
yeah,
was a good time.
yeah, that's funny. Wow, that must have been an interesting. Woo.
Yeah, we used to do weird shit, man. We made a fucking like a weed lemon cake one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we made some can of butter, and the cake was like actually like a lime green.
Oh, wow.
You know, and we were like eating it, but we had no idea of like how
Oh
potent
yeah,
this
man!
would
Your
be.
first time you're eating pot.
Like I was kind of like, oh, it took a little bit. My brother took like fuck. He's like, this thing ain't doing shit. He took like half the cake and he was hands and knees like.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is fucking crazy.
When you eat too much pot, it's the craziest.
It's
thing.
never. I've never had it be that good again though, man. Like edibles and shit. Like, I got one of those gummy bears or whatever. It don't do anything to me because I'm high all the time.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but it's like for me, it's like there's a definite difference with the edibles and smoking.
I gotta just eat like a whole brownie one day. Like,
Yeah.
Because every time I get one, I'm like, you know, I'm only gonna eat half. Like, I think this might fuck me up.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, I should just throw caution to the wind and eat 2 of them. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you
I
could
don't
do that.
feel it anymore, man.
I
really
believe
don't.
it. Yeah, it's definitely a different thing. I like kind of.
I never started smoking until I was like in my like mid-20s.
That's same with me, man.
I was like
didn't-
26 and it was.
I was 25,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. No, I was
think
a little
that's
earlier.
the best time to start.
Like 22, 23, I was. Yeah.
I smoked like when I was a teenager a couple times. Like with my friends, like maybe 10 times.
Right.
Somebody would have it. Like, oh yeah, we'll do this and just laugh, whatever. But like, I started smoking like because I had psoriasis. And It
Right.
was like fucking horrible. So I started smoking it just because like my meds
Yeah.
stopped working and I was on like biologics and stuff.
Right.
And it like cleared me up. Like
That's
I went
amazing.
from 80% coverage with that to like, as you could see, like little spots here and there. Like I can't even bitch about it anymore.
Yeah.
Cause like my life was agony, dude. I was down to like 130 pounds.
That's crazy.
Couldn't fucking eat. I was like a skeleton. And like my brother just told me, he's like, just fuck this. Whatever you're doing, like just start smoking pot all
Yeah.
the time. He's like, whatever you're doing is gonna kill you. So I fucking started like a chimney, like blunts after blunt after blunt after blunt. And now I feel pretty fucking good.
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of the cannabis. It's the future, man. That's the one thing I got my eye on now, especially what's going on in New Jersey right now. Really exciting.
It'll be.
It's the future, man.
Christy was just blocking the fucking doorway.
Fuck that guy, man. He's done. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. But it's like, I think cannabis is the future. I mean, it's been held back for so long. It does so much good for people. And now it's starting to come out into the world, and because of money.
Nobody's dying.
You can't
you know?
die. It's impossible.
I think about it all the time. Like, even with people I know who are like alcoholics, like, I don't think you should be replacing one vice with another.
Sure, I get
But I
that.
think that, like, it's a good way to fight the withdrawal symptoms of alcoholism, and it's not like anywhere near as bad for you. And I think it'll make you think.
Yeah, well,
about.
I agree with you on that.
Like, there's something to like using it like therapeutically, like to help. You know, not like a crutch, but like.
No, I think.
I don't think it's.
Here's the thing with pot. I think because of how it's been, demonized for, over 60 years and stuff in this country, and like, or even more. But like, I think even everywhere, I think the way we've looked at it as a people is all wrong. I think Bob Marley, okay, sound cliche, but Bob Marley said something else about pot. He said pot is the mirror.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. I think that people who use it all the time can even forget this. I think people are using it wrong. Like, people say, like, oh, it makes me paranoid. I don't think so. What pot does is it shows you to yourself.
Yeah, you're paranoid as it is.
Yeah, but it's like, no, it's just showing you yourself.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to look at themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why psychedelics are demonized too. It's like, because it forces you to look at yourself. Most people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So when they're paranoid, they're like, oh, I'm thinking about this, I'm too much in my head. Yeah, it's like, you have to think about, like, people think, oh, like, you think about pot, like, oh, you get stupid, you get silly, you laugh, you eat a lot. It's like, those are things that happen when you smoke marijuana. But I think that we as a people, like, it's a lot more serious than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
So I think if people used it with it, like, and that's all they know. They've seen the Cheech and Chong movies.
Yeah,
they've seen
all the
drug
stupid shit
commercials
about
and
it.
the Nancy Reagan, and so it's like, if it'd be interesting to find a person that wasn't exposed to all that, and then just teach them about pot, what it does, what it doesn't do. They would have a different way of viewing it. So I think, like, as it comes into more normalcy, I think people are gonna change their story about.
My grandmother's like one of those people that it's like unfathomable to her.
Yeah.
That she's like, no, your grandfather did studies on this, like, and I read the studies, and it's like, because she has them all. He works for Hoffman LaRoche. She's like a drug
really?
company. Yeah, he was like some kind of scientist.
Oh,
And,
wow.
So I'm like reading these studies, and it's like they tested pot on these gorillas or these monkeys, and
Yeah.
it like reduced the aggression, and all they wanted to do was just sit around and fucking hang out and eat.
Right.
I'm like, what's so bad about
What's so
this
bad
study?
about
Like,
this?
this is basically what my life is.
Right.
How bad could it be? I'm still here.
Yeah.
But like, there was like that whole reefer madness. Like,
Yeah.
I love calling it jazz cigarettes or the devil's
Yeah,
lettuce,
of
because
course.
like people who don't know what you're talking about, they're just like, what?
Yeah, what are
and
you
people and all the people who are down, they're like, nice.
Jazz cigarette, baby, yeah. Now, pot's the future, man, and it's like, you know,
I
people
can't wait till it's legalized.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, there's going to be so much money involved. Like, that's the one thing I've been looking into recently. It's just trying to get involved on the legal pot market.
So you could just get your foot in the door.
I just want to be involved, man. It's
Yeah.
like, I work in retail. I've worked in retail for many years, and it's like, I want to sell things to people that I believe in, you know, and I think about, you know, what...
I believe in that.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, what are the things I love in my life? Music. I love pot. I do, because it's done really good things for me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, if I could give this to people who need it and want it, and like, that would be so fucking cool. I would love doing that. So it's like, it's definitely something I want to look into. Just to be a part of it. You know, just to, you know, because it's been blocked for people who need it for so long for medical reasons. And, you know, like I said, I think we look at it wrong too. So it's like, I think it's a really good moment. I think we're at a point where we could really change culturally if we get, you know, say like...
I think once it's legalized in like Jersey or New York City
Think about
or
that.
Connecticut, it's gonna be, you know, if we get it first, New York's gonna be
Bro, New
right
York's
next-
gonna be coming to Jersey for the pot.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
They love to hate on Jersey. Oh, you suck. Oh,
and then
you're
they're
so
gonna have
lame.
to pay the
They're-
fucking $14
I
to
know.
drive back through the
Ah,
tunnel.
it's gonna be the funniest shit ever. The ultimate revenge.
Nah, but I can't wait, man. Like they've been fucking with it for so long, like with the medical shit. Like I
Yeah,
never got
man,
my
especially
medical
us in
card.
New
Just
Jersey.
like so much work to get it. It's like
It's the-
easier
it's
for
the-
me to just find a guy on a street corner, so to speak, and
Yeah.
fucking just get my shit.
I've heard that from a bunch of people. I mean, New Jersey had, thanks to Christie, had the strictest medical program in the whole country.
Yeah, it's like not even worth having it.
Yeah, so it's like, I understand that, but it's really cool that we're getting a new governor and we're going to have some new stuff going on, so.
I think it's time for us to do a read for one of our sponsors.
Dun, 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 dun.
December 23rd, 2017, an asshole plays shitty songs live at Clash Bar. An asshole plays shitty songs along with Ba-Bomb, Stereo Joe, Skunk Days, and Disposable. That's December 23rd, 2017, at Clash Bar in Clifton, New Jersey, 39 Harding Avenue, 9 p.m.
That'll be good. December 23rd. We've got at the Clash Bar in
Yes,
Clifton,
sir.
New Jersey.
My favorite venue.
With Bob Clash is the man.
Big ups to Bob Clark.
I always say, I tell everyone that Bob Clash is my best friend. I think it's kind of one-sided. I don't know if he feels that way. But no, I love that place, man. Like, I run sound over there. I have the reputation of being kind of a cunt. But people block me into my sound booth. Or they block me out of it. They put their amps in front of it.
Yeah.
It's a threshold, you fucks.
Yeah, you got to stay away from there.
Keep away.
I try to stay to the left.
Stay to the side,
Yeah.
put it in front of it, put it anywhere else. I got in there, I could tell you horror stories.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
I got in there a couple weeks ago and somebody filled the closet with guitar cases. Like, you know, the closet
Yeah.
with the cables and
Yeah.
it was just filled with guitar cases. So after I had my meltdown about all the doors being blocked, I went into the closet to get the DI box and had another meltdown.
It's like, what's all this
Screamed,
shit?
what the fuck, dude? You can't keep this fucking shit here. I'm such an asshole about it. I screamed at some guy the other day. Every time I work there and I have an incident like that, I think I'm gonna get fired. Just like, but then I go outside and I'll like bullshit and have a cigarette and like talk to the people. Like, I'm different when I'm in the club and I have to run
Sure,
around
you
and
gotta
clutch
work, man.
moments.
You're working.
I go outside, take 5, and it's like Bruce Banner.
Right.
And I go back in and Hulk out.
Hulk.
But no, that'll be a great show. We
Yeah.
got Stereo Joe. They're always very
They're a fun bunch of guys.
slick,
Gals.
well dressed.
Yes.
And they got Ashley with them now, so
my
that'll
girl
be
Ashley.
she's awesome.
Yeah, she's good. I've known her for a little bit. I'm excited to see her singing.
We were discussing her during the commercial break.
Yeah,
Fabulous talent.
indeed.
Lovely young lady, so that'll be great. And we got Babam on the bill.
Woo!
And I think there's another band too besides
Yeah,
me.
I can't remember.
I can't remember now either. It's not like we have a thing in our pocket that
I
we can just
know.
look up the names. But there's other acts on there. They were in the commercial.
Yes.
We weren't listening to the commercial. We were having a sidebar discussion during the airing of the commercial. But I think Alexa will probably be doing comedy.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Maybe along with me.
Yes, I always love it when you interject your comedic stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta be a rim shot guy.
You're gonna be my rim shot guy. That's for sure. No, because I'm gonna do an asshole plays shitty songs.
Yes.
It's a one-man show, but I think I'm gonna have more than one man on the stage. Maybe even a broad, a
Ooh,
dame,
A dame.
with
I
some
always love that.
gams.
Gammy dame.
A gammy dame with some knockers.
Can we say that anymore?
Yeah, we can. Because there's not one here to get offended.
Good point. Hashtag me too.
Me too. No, we should talk about how Hollywood is fucking cannibalizing.
Well, it's just a
itself.
weird time to be alive in general, man. It's like, I feel, it's like, to me, there's no gray area anymore. That's the scary thing. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Nobody knows when you're joking.
that's what I mean. It's like, it's a weird time to be a male in America. It's like, it's like you don't want to step on anybody's toes, and it's like, but it's
I don't say shit to anybody anymore.
Yeah, the older I get, the quieter I've gotten for sure. It's just, and it was even before this, but it's like, now it's like every day you wake up, it's something new. Like fucking Charlie Rose, who would have thought that? I love that dude.
Well, no, I would have, because like when you think about like Anchorman,
Yeah, I guess.
it's all of that stuff is like kind of based on like all this lore.
Hey, I'm him.
Yeah, it's based on all this lore of like we thought Anchorman was like a joke where this Anchorman goes out and he's getting all this pussy.
Right.
And everyone gives a shit, and it's like, no, that's probably how it used to be. For
Yeah,
these
probably.
Guys. Like, Peter Jennings was probably pinching mad ass.
Yeah,
and shit.
probably.
And like, and then now we're in this age where it's like nobody gives a fuck about these guys. So like they're just like a little more sexually harassing.
Yeah.
Because like women's lib has come so much
Sure.
further. Women take less shit.
Yeah.
So like now it's like, wait a minute, like this actually happened to me, but I didn't
Right.
realize it at the time. Like
Sure.
there's always shit in life where I'm like, man, like somebody was trying to fucking groom me into something or other that I
Right.
should not have,
Uh-huh.
that they should not have been doing, and like it takes sometimes 10 years before you really that realization will dawn on you.
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
weird. The problem, I think, is like the areas of degradation don't exist anymore, and the way it's being discussed in the public, like it's like there's no like, okay, if you look at murder, for example, there's all kinds of degradations there. There's first degree murder, second degree murder, there's manslaughter where you can kill somebody, it's not murder. It's like, but with this, it's like there's no there's no like variation on that. It's like a sexual assault, rape, or like I read this thing the other day. I can't remember the name of the band. I should have looked, but like it was a band I never heard of. They must be up and coming. But this poor guy in this band had to put out this whole statement saying, accusing himself. It's not like somebody came out and said something about him.
Was it brand new?
No, this was
wasn't
like
brand
I read about Jesse Lacey and all that stuff,
Oh.
but like this is an up and coming band.
Oh,
like
okay.
they're like I didn't know
From
their
Jersey?
name. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
But they basically were like the guitar player basically came out and was like, I'm guilty of sexual coercion because I'm a male in a band and that makes me more powerful than I guess women. So it's like he had
That's
to go.
insulting.
Yeah, and he went on to detail a relationship which was started while the female in question was in a relationship with someone else. She dropped that person, got with this guy. They had a rocky time and eventually split up.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a relationship that didn't work. Okay, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But then he goes and accuses himself of sexual coercion and saying that because he was in a band, that means that gave him all this power that he maybe misused to what?
No, but he could have just been the good-looking guy at the bar.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
everybody I saw commenting on it too was like, what is this? You even talk like this guy lost a tour. Like all this stuff happened to him as a result.
I think
of
I
this.
read about that. It's an indie band from like Montclair or something.
Something like that. And like basically everybody writing was like, where's the problem here? It's not like something happened without consent. It wasn't. It's you had a relationship. You broke up amicably. Like it was done. Like. Yeah. Why, after the fact, that you're accusing yourself, basically? It's not even the chick coming out there like, hey,
nobody
you
even
did this.
came out and said anything about it.
It's just like
that's weird.
I see stuff like
it's
that.
Like guilt.
It makes me feel really strange. It's just like I don't know how to take that. It's like
I'll tell you, I never go home with any chicks from shows. I never go home with any chicks from the bar that I work at. Like when I run sound, and it's like not like. It's not like opportunities haven't presented themselves, but like I don't know. I really won't fuck anybody that I don't know. That, like I'm not like because you can't. People are fucking crazy today, and I think there is a lot of fucked up shit that goes on.
Sure, absolutely.
And I also think there's like, I don't know. There's just it's like a bad atmosphere. Like
it's a bad atmosphere.
It's like walking on eggshells, man.
I think it's a combination of two things. I think it's a bad atmosphere and a lack of nuance. And like that's the thing that I've been lamenting about basically the world in general for the past couple years. Maybe the past 2-3 years. There's no nuance anymore. Okay? It's either black or white. Yeah. You're either a fucking Republican or you're a fucking Democrat. There's no nuance in anything. You can't, like, you're either pro-life or you're fucking for abortion. It's like, there's no nuance anywhere. There's no place. That's why I love podcasts so much, because it's a place where people could sit down and hash out really important things.
I love to explain that whole thing. My political beliefs are fucking completely
there's a lot of nuance there, right?
Because I'm like, I'm a guy that I think, pot should be fucking legal.
Right.
Personally, I think any drug should be legal.
I agree. I think it should all be legalized.
You should be able to go walk into pharmacy and go, I want to fucking buy heroin today.
I agree.
Because it'll be standardized.
Yeah.
It'll be taxed. You'll get fucking clean needles.
That's right. Be safe.
Yeah,
take all the criminal
you're a heroin addict. That's your problem.
Yeah, there's people who are cigarette addicts.
There's people who are addicted to all kinds of shit.
Fucking chocolate.
Yeah. Eating, you don't stop a guy from going to fucking McDonald's 3 times a day if he wants to. Like,
that's the #1 killer in America too. And heart issues.
And I also, like I would prefer that people don't kill their unborn babies. But you know what? Fucking shit happens.
That's what I'm saying. There's nuance there.
You can't like legislate that.
No. But it's just like, the thing too, it's like, the thing that's really gotten me in the last couple of years is just like, that problem has existed on a macro level for a while, but like now it's really starting on the micro level. It's like interactions with people, especially online.
Oh, it's so ugly.
There's no way to have a nuanced conversation. It's like, that's like what I'm saying. It's like podcasts are a great place because there's like sometimes hours of blocks of time you can sit back, with one person, 2 people, whatever, and really get to the nitty gritty.
Figure out where in that whole big picture what color they're disagreeing on.
Because it's like there's so much there to look at. So it's like that's the thing. I think that like people it's such a weird world we're living in. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. It's fucking odd. It's like but it's like besides that, it's like I feel like I'm living in a movie.
But why did he get there?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Why did he get there? Exactly.
I really truly think that and you look at what like Donna Brazile said.
Yeah. No.
All that shit, like they fucked Bernie Sanders.
Bro, the whole thing, that whole election was the biggest tragedy ever. We're talking about a country our size. We can't find people better than the 2 people we put up for that.
Yeah.
What a fucking joke. Like, it's like, so it's like,
but I think Bernie Sanders, I'm not even for Bernie Sanders, really. Like,
sure.
But I think that if Bernie Sanders ran against Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders would have taken that fucking election.
He could have, yeah. The Republicans probably would have came out with a lot of fucking Oppo research, with like the whole like
I know
Red
so
Scare
many
kind of stuff.
Disenfranchised people
you're right.
that would have definitely voted for fucking
that's what happened
Bernie
with Trump.
Sanders. Yeah,
those people went to him. They're just like,
they were just
I
like,
can't do this Hillary thing.
Yeah, they just threw their hands up and said, "Fuck it." Yeah, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in.
For sure. But it's like, again, it's like what you're saying. It's like how you got there. It's like there's a lot of nuance there. I'm reading a really fascinating book right now called Kill All Normies. and it's about Chan culture and how it dealt just online in Chan culture. It's written by this woman, I think Andrea Nagel is her name. She's from Ireland. But it talks about the election and how so much of what happened was online and was missed by the mainstream media.
Yeah.
There's all stuff going on 4chan, all the meme stuff, all that stuff was really, it was the first election where this stuff almost was more powerful than the mainstream media in terms of shaping a narrative. So it's like, there you see just the weirdness of like all these people mixed in. And like I said, it's like you have to. If you remember what Kekistan is, you ever heard of Kek or Kekistan?
Yeah.
Okay, they talk about it in that book, but it's like with these people, with these online trolling people, you can never really tell where they stand with things. It's like, you know, they joke about it. A lot of it is joking and dark humor, but also there's people that can hide things within there. You know, people like Richard Spencer and all these people who are really into these like white national politics and stuff can use like meme culture and like Chan culture to like infiltrate and hide things. But then there's people that are just fucking, you know, making jokes.
Do you know white supremacists? Like the way the media portrays that there's white supremacists around. Like I feel like like don't get me wrong. I know people that are racist.
Sure, that's what I was gonna say.
And they're like, but they're like fucking racist, like not like burning a cross
on somebody's
lawn.
They're not part of a group.
They're throwing out fucking epithets or whatever.
Yeah,
but
sure.
In their own home, they're not like. Yeah. They're not gonna go fucking march.
That's what I mean.
But I don't see, like the way they put it on TV. It's like there's not. I don't know. I don't even see them as white supremacists because it's not. It's usually not about a group of people. It's usually like a guy cuts them off. Right. And that's the word they choose to use. Like,
right, sure.
That's a racism, but it's like a fucking... I don't see it as like, these people all deserve to die.
Right. Again,
there's
nuance there.
Yeah, like... I think people take so much shit out of context. Like, you hear somebody... Like, what's their intent? Intent is like my big thing, I think. Like, I like intent and I like personal responsibility. Okay. Like, I think those are two things that are... Intent is lost. Right. In so much. Like, I don't know. I say a lot of fucked up shit, like, especially, like, comedically.
Sure, I think comedians are important, especially now.
I think comedians are fucking, like, a dying breed.
Oh, absolutely.
When I was in college, comedians would play the college all the time. Now...
They won't come.
They won't fucking go because they're... God forbid they make the wrong joke.
Can't say the wrong thing.
You know, and you... They don't even... These kids aren't even listening. They're listening for a word that upsets them.
Yeah, like...
Triggers them. Yeah. Like, they're not listening... Like for like an entire bit of like what is the end game of this? Like, okay, it starts with like a Jew, a black guy, and a fucking Muslim, whoever walk into a bar. Oh no, you can't joke about any of those things. Like, but what's the end game of like they're you know,
where are you going? Because it's a cult, man.
Yeah,
okay,
it is. It's a very
the whole progressive thing is a
cult mentality.
Okay, it's a cult, and if you don't live up. Like I said, I came from a religious background. I was in one of the biggest cults there is, called Christianity. And if you don't conform to the norms of the cult, they'll kick you out. That's what happens to these progressive people, too. It's all about snitching. You know, it's like North Korea. I read this really great book about North Korea by a guy named Michael Malice. He wrote this book called Dear Reader. Yeah. Fascinating. It's really great. It's if Kim Jong-il was writing his own autobiography. And so in that book, they talk about there's a whole system they have set up there where everybody rats on everybody. So down to the whole neighborhood level. So they'll be like, hey, you know, they'll say, hey, I saw Johnny not stand up for the national anthem the other day. And stuff like that. It's the same thing happens in there. It's like, it's like, actually, it was
destroy his
Jamie
career.
Kilstein was just on Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, he just got
that
fucked.
was crazy. You listen to that, he talks all about this. He got kicked out of the cult. Yeah. You know? So it's like, if you don't conform,
yeah, he was riding high until
bro, he was huge in there, bro. Huge. And then he, you know, like I said, they heard him say some things they didn't like, and that was it. He was done.
I love saying things that people don't like. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Well, it's important, I think.
That's why I still use the word like broads. Yeah. Like dames. Yeah. Like women don't get offended at
well, I don't think that's inherently derogatory either.
Well, you know, I'll tell you the most offended group of people that like whenever if I tell jokes that upset somebody, you know who I upset 99% of the time?
Who?
Older white women.
Okay, I can see that.
Like, they get offended at anything. I could look at the black guy in the back and go, I can only see you there because you're smiling. And they're going to go, oh.
Why'd you say
and that
that?
guy's fucking
He's
dying in the back.
Right, yeah.
Like, I do an impression of fucking somebody. Oh, I heard that in 1975. Well, good. Fucking go back there.
Go back.
Like,
Well, I think these people also are missing out on the point of comedy.
yeah. Well, I also think too, though, to their credit and to my, discredit, it's like I'm doing comedy at a rock and roll bar, but it's still like
Still, I think it's a good place for it.
it's comedy. I mean, fucking, I don't know. You get a lot more hecklers there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Than
Okay, I can see that, sure.
Comedy club, because at
Okay.
a comedy club they're going there to
Right,
laugh.
they're
At a
going
rock
there for
bar,
their purpose.
They're going there to fucking usually watch their friend's band.
Right.
And you're just an asshole
Right, you're
that's
that guy
taking
that's
fucking
before or
20
after.
minutes.
Right, yeah.
I like to do it at the end of the night because I like to clear the room. It's like my favorite thing, and it makes just Bob die. Like
I'm sure.
I sing closing time like Ray Charles.
Semisonic, yes.
Yeah, like Ray Charles now.
That's awesome.
Closing time.
And sometimes I sing the Charles in Charge theme.
Nice.
Just ad nauseum.
Scott Baio.
Yeah. I learned it on guitar now too, so we might be
Oh,
playing
dude,
that
you gotta play that.
December 23rd.
Do you know his friend became a big
Willie
Christian?
Ames?
Yeah, Bible man.
Dude, I do a bit with Willie Ames where it's Ames and OJ.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Oh, gee, OJ, what are we
Oh,
doing?
What are those clips for? Oh man.
Gee, OJ, what's going on? We's be gonna find who's be killing's my wife. I's gonna be finding the real killer.
Tonight.
And you know what? It's okay, because, like, I've asked people, and they're like, no, we hate OJ. Like,
Well, yeah,
it's okay
man.
that you do an Amos and Andy bit with Willie Ames and OJ.
That's funny.
Because we don't like him.
Yeah, no, he's
So,
just one of those guys. Like
That's probably my most offensive bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I usually start with that.
Okay.
And just knock down the whole Jenga.
Yeah, just get it out of the way
Knock
right
down
away.
the whole
Sure.
Jenga castle, and
All
then just rebuild from there.
Yeah, I mean, comedy in general, I have really respect for people who do it because it's like coming from a music, because you're a musician as well. But it's like you could see the difference between them, where it's like you have to write your material and then you have to perform it by yourself, but like completely naked, like so no guitar, and then
I'm better at comedy because I'll do. Like my one-man show is like I do like a couple of lines and then play a song.
Yeah.
So it's so much easier when I can go, this is a song I wrote after I fingered a lot of girls.
Right.
Take a beat with my penis. And then I play the song to laughter.
Right. It's perfect. It's a great idea.
It's like a fucking, boom, boom song.
It's really fun to watch, because I've got to see a few of these sets, as a spectator, and like I had a lot of fun. Like that's why I think, with like my old band and the Zombie, we weren't really technically good. The records are okay, but it's like live. A lot of times, my guitar player get really drunk, or my bass player get really drunk, or whatever. And it would just be fun. But like people who came to see us, we had a decent following because people just had fun at the shows.
That's what
Like,
it's all about.
so it's like when I got to see you do your thing, the whole mix of the comedy and the choices of the songs you chose and all that stuff really made me have a good time. I had a really good time.
That's
watching
how
you
I
do
felt
that.
about Ba-Bomb, too.
Yeah, that's what we try
Like,
to do.
you guys fucking played Alanis Morissette.
Yeah,
Like, even songs I fucking hate that you guys play, I'm like, this is great, because, like, I know this song, because I listened to the radio in
Yeah.
1997.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I do with them is seeing what I can get away with.
Yeah.
And Tommy is such an interesting guy, is that he'll go there with things.
I like his Red Rooster haircut.
Yeah, he just got a
looks
new
like
hair.
Terry Taylor now.
Yeah, he looks
You know,
good.
you get that reference? You watch wrestling back
Yeah,
in the day?
sure,
Red
absolutely.
Rooster? I posted that picture on his shit.
I'm
So if
sure
he
he looked
listens to this, if he gets this far into the podcast,
I hope so. But yeah, no, I mean that's what that was the whole MO behind Ba-Bomb.
Yeah.
Was just having fun. And because like I said, I got to know Tommy for a long time, and we always used to, just have fun, with people, either watching or just me and him. But we were just like, yeah, we need a musical outlet for this. So Ba-Bomb is, and actually, if I could plug something for the 23rd myself,
Yeah,
it will be
plug
the
it.
debut performance for our new guitar player, second guitar player.
what?
Yeah, Carson Padley.
Carson.
Carson, yeah.
He sounds sexy.
He is. He's got dreadlocks.
Nice.
Very sexy man.
Nice.
So we're really excited about that.
That's good because I can make that joke. When you're fucking a girl missionary, is it like she's at a car wash?
It's funny. I was actually discussing with him the other day. I was like, hey, because I'm sure you may have seen some of these videos of like these people giving white people with dreadlocks a hard time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked him. I was like, hey, has that ever happened to you? He's like, no. He's like the opposite. He's like most of the time, real legit, Rosses or people, black guys or whatever.
They respect that
like,
shit.
oh man, great locks. How long you had them? And like just stuff like that. So I was really happy to hear that because I'm like, I hope this guy hadn't caught any bullshit.
I really think
he's had it for a long time.
That
too,
whole cultural appropriation
Fucking
thing, I think, is
bullshit.
like insane. Like, that's what this whole country was founded on.
That's what it's
I feel
about.
like life. I feel like civilization was founded. Like,
Absolutely.
We're culturally appropriating the fucking Romans by having wheels on our car.
Sorry. Yeah.
Like it's
We have gunpowder.
unfathomable.
We're culturally appropriating the Chinese. Okay. It's like, how far do you want to go with this?
Yeah. Where does it end? At what point?
You want to talk about something funny? Okay, so rock and roll.
We stole it from black people.
Stole it from black people, but then British people took it from us.
Yeah.
And made it huge. So it's like, talk about, that was the best event of cultural appropriation I've ever heard. Is British people finding black music. You get the fucking Rolling Stones and the Beatles, and then you get fucking Minor Threat, and then you get, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, thank you for cultural appropriation in a way, because it's like, that's what you're saying. It's like, it's the heart and soul of how fucking civilization works, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. I think without... I don't know, like, I'm inspired by, like, everything. Like, I'm not a guy that even listens to that much rap. But
I do. I'm a bit of a hip-hop guy.
I like certain shit. I love the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, they're fun.
I fucking love NWA.
Yeah.
I like, I don't know, I listen to, like, weird shit. Coolio, fucking, because that was, like, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, like, Gangsta's Paradise.
Yeah, of course. Classic.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer and shit.
Yeah, Dangerous Minds.
Yeah. Like Method Man, Redman, I like Wu-Tang Clan. I always just fucking... I don't know, I take something away from it when, like, with lyrically and flow, I guess it would be.
No.
And, like, phrase... I call it phrasing.
Sure,
like,
absolutely.
Just a way to make vocals almost percussive and...
Yeah, man, there's some talent out there. That's the one thing I got into. People, like, some of my other bands used to, hate me for this. I like Kanye West. I like all kinds of hip-hop. I've been to a lot of hip-hop shows because I used to go to Bonnaroo. I went 7 years.
Yeah.
And so going to that festival...
You went to Bonnaroo for 7 years?
7 years, baby.
God damn.
2007, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So...
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. A lot of great, amazing shows.
Did you see Daft Punk?
No, that was before I started going. I wish I could have seen that show. But, like, I've seen everybody under the sun there, man. Like, one of the best... Like, you asked me, like before... You were talking about, like, shows. Like, one of my top shows ever was Paul McCartney.
Oh, nice.
At Bonnaroo.
That
was
awesome.
one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Like, but I got to see a lot of hip-hop shows there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of The Roots. They're one of the best live bands you will ever see in your life.
Yeah.
I got to see Snoop Dogg there. I got to see
like
the Beastie
Snoop Dogg.
Boys right before Adam Yauch died. It was one
Yeah.
of the last shows he did. Nas came out and jammed
Yeah.
with them. Like, I got to see Jay-Z there. I saw Kanye West there. I saw Mos Def and Talib Kweli doing, like, Black Star.
That's awesome.
I got to see Eminem, who was not good, actually. It was 2011. I'll give him
Is that when he just appeared out of no... Like, was he billed to be there?
No, he was billed to be there,
Oh,
and I
okay.
was looking forward to having a really good time at that show. But, like, he was at... I think that was, like, right after his overdose, and, like, he was going through a lot of shit then. The problem was that, like, he kept, like... He wouldn't do a whole song.
Yeah, he did, like, little pieces.
He would do little
of a
pieces, and
bunch.
he had this hype guy doing most of the work for him. And then they, like, it was like, I wanted to have a good time at that show. It wasn't horrible, but it was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But going to these hip-hop shows and, like, being a fan of hip-hop, like, some of my favorite hip-hop is, like you were saying, stuff from the 90s. Like, I love the Fugees. The Score is one of the best albums ever. Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style,
Yeah.
like...
Warren G.
Warren G, of course, Cannabis, like all those guys. Like, so, like, I've been a white boy who likes hip hop, and I've had to hide it from a lot of my rock people because I'm in rock bands. They don't want to hear any of that shit. So when I go to these hip hop shows, I'm a big fan of Erykah Badu. I got to see her at Bonnaroo too.
Nice.
So I got to see a lot of hip hop shows. So when I go to these shows there, I'm up in the front, I'm spitting the words. All these black people are like, yo, white boy gets down. They love it. They think it's hilarious. They love it. They're passing me their blunts, like they're doing all this shit. And it's great. And like I caught so much shit for liking people like, say, Kanye West. Okay, because like people like him, they're like, oh, well, he said this ridiculous thing. It's like, I don't care. You can't hold me responsible for that.
Yeah.
I like his records. I respect what the guy does. Is he a perfect person? No. People even try to give me shit about John Lennon, okay? Because John Lennon
was a wife beater.
Yeah. Oh, he beat his wife. Oh, he did. Yeah, sorry, he was a human fucking being, okay? Just because he, Jesus Christ, people, it's like, just shut the fuck up.
Well, if you look at anybody, you look at Martin Luther King. He was fucking having extramarital affairs.
It's like people are people.
They're great at one thing. They're not so great at something else.
But it's like, I think we look at musicians and we put them up on these unfair pedestals. It's like, oh, it's like, okay. It's like, you don't think that everybody's just people in the end, you know? It's like, and they try to hold you responsible for things that other people do.
Yeah.
It's like, I felt like I was back in church. I was like, you know, you people are treating me like, you know, it's like.
Well, there's going to be that fucking culty mentality kind of anywhere with anything that happens, like a scene.
Sure, yeah. But I think it's really fueled now by this whole online progressivism thing. It's like, that's, you know, with one of my other bands, like, it really crept in there for a bit. Like, it's like stuff like that, and it's just like, come on, like, just don't do that. Just make it about the music. See me for who I am, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We should do the Inside the Actors Studio.
Ah, yes.
Questionnaire.
James Lipton.
In 1995, you are in a film that changed the face of film completely.
Huh.
It was tremendous.
Yeah.
That film was Biodome.
Oh, yes. Classic.
What is your favorite word?
Fuck.
What is your least favorite word?
Ooh. Oh, wow. This one I have to think about. Least favorite word would probably be, like, crackle.
Crackle.
Yeah.
Like snap, crackle, and pop.
It's just odd.
What is your favorite drug?
My favorite drug would probably... Ooh, that's a tie. I mean, I would probably say THC, for sure.
THC.
Yeah.
All right. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
What turns me on creative? I would say... I mean, it's a long... I could go on for hours with that one, but I would say it's got to touch me inside. Whatever it is, it's got... I have to be able to... Let's see. It's probably just a sense of coming home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, if I feel that... sometimes you just... Whether it be somebody you're listening to, music, a drug, a girl, it's like a sense that you, like, maybe have met this thing some other time and you're reconnecting with it. It's like it's something that is hard to put into words, but, like, you know it when you feel it.
Yeah. What turns you off?
I would say... short-sightedness. Not lack of nuance. That's the thing that turns me off. Lack of nuance.
You like nuance?
Yes.
What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck again. Sorry.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Professional weed salesman in the legal market. Bud tender, if you will.
What profession would you not like to do?
Work in retail.
If you were reincarnated as some other plant or animal, what would it be?
I would say animal from the Muppets.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound of burning fire, like crackling wood.
Like a campfire?
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
I would say nails on a chalkboard.
All right. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You always understood me, even when you thought that you didn't.
Well, that's all. That's all the questions I have in
That's
terms
wonderful.
of this survey. So thank you for that,
Thank you.
because that's always, it's enlightening.
It is. No, it's very rare that I get
And
asked.
you don't
questions
think
like
about that shit
Yeah,
that
no, like I
much.
said, especially the least favorite word. That's one that really stumped me. It's not really something.
Crackle.
Yeah, it's just something odd about that. Yeah, say ooh.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Let's plug your dates. Any dates that you have
we got
coming
some
up?
dates coming up. Actually, one would be tonight, which is the 25th, I believe. Mythology's playing at Airport Pub and Package in Sussex, New Jersey.
November 25th, but
Yeah.
you won't be getting this until November 26th.
That's all right. We're also playing on the 2nd. That's a Friday in Sussex again.
December 2nd?
Yes, December 2nd at the Greeks. And also on December 8th, I believe that I have to find out where that is. That's really
that's all
bad.
Mythology?
Yes, it's all Mythology. The 8th, I feel bad for not knowing where this one is, but I guess should find that out. And
December 8th, there's a show somewhere.
there's a show somewhere, and also the 15th, which is, I believe is in Lake Apacon. And of course the 23rd with Baba.
December 23rd. Yeah, that'll be
all
awesome.
playing shitty songs. Woo!
It's going to be where it's
Stereo
at.
Joe.
So stick around, because next time I'll either have Jimmy James or Alexa or someone else related to that December 23rd show. Jordan, thank you very much.
I had such a wonderful time. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. Thank you, man. For the debut. Give me 5.
5. Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Signing out, motherfuckers.
Peace.
This has been an Assholes Shitty Podcast with Paul Mauled. At Paul Mauled on Twitter and Instagram. YouTube.com/Plan10Studios. Plan 10 Studios.